What's up, everybody? Hello. Okay, so I just want to make a video again. It's been a while since I made a video, and I just want to talk about, you guessed it, AI. So my question to AI is like, how how cheap are you gonna go, right? And well, maybe it's not a question to AI. Maybe it's the people who are using AI to try to like not pay artists, what they're worth, not paying specifically voice actors, because I'm just looking at AI now is doing things, and like I'm looking at how traditional voice acting was done before comparatively to this new stuff that I assume Amazon is doing audio AI dub, for a lot of different titles, etc. And I'm looking at it, and are you guys like good up there? Are you good up there? Like seriously, you really think someone's like gonna enjoy that dub version of like an anime or like I just think it's very strange. It's very strange to to think that your consumers would consume this, right? This AI slop, right? As everyone calls it. It is AI slop. There's a lot of things that AI is doing where people people are just cheap. Like companies, let's be honest, companies are really cheap. You know, they're really cheap on how they're using AI to remove workers to get a job done. And I think that we need to roll back. We need to stop. We need to backpedal doing this stuff because now it's like now it's not going in a direction that it helps us efficiently. It's more of just like we're trying to find things to make it be efficient, and that's kind of like the opposite of what we were trying to do. We thought that was going to fix a lot of real problems. Before I thought it was fixing my problems. It like summarize stuff and like organize things, and for the best part, it did. But when I really look into it, it's not. It's actually doing a lot of harm than a lot of good. Like I'm from what I understand, there's a lot of new data centers being created in the U.S. and other places in the world from OpenAI, right? OpenAI and I guess like some other partner companies or whatever that's involved with AI, right? And I've also seen that the RAM, so the RAM that you have for 16 gig RAM, 32 gig RAM, that type of RAM, whatever, has gone up because companies need companies need RAM to run AI, right? It's the same thing with when crypto started using a lot more GPU because you need a lot of GPU to run crypto, right? So we're seeing a rise in RAM, and the consumer are hurting. So if you go to like a computer and maybe on a discount computer, etc., RAM is gonna cost a lot more than it was previously, right? I'm thinking early 2000, maybe 17 to 19, whatever. RAM was typically pretty cheap, pretty cheap, right? But now it's like I saw some RAM go for like $480 or something like that, some ridiculous number, right? And from before, from what I've seen, like $80, 60, depending on what you get, right? So it's getting to this point where I strongly believe it's gonna pop soon. Like it's gonna pop in 2 years. Mark my words on that. In 2 years, maybe like in a summer or something like that. Maybe 2 years from now in the July, this is gonna pop. I don't think it's sustainable. I think there's going to be a lot of backlash when it affects, because it is affecting our environment right now, the whole water consumption, etc. But when it turns to this point where it's affecting our environment to a point where it's just like, no, like it's ruining my daily life, then everyone's gonna pull, you know. I actually saw, it was a reel, it was a very popular reel that I got very got a lot of views. You know, popular is the same thing as love. Anyways, so 40% of AI and this S&P 500 is it's backed. It's backed by the AI stuff, right? A lot of billionaires, a lot of people putting a lot of money to AI, and realistically, it's not making a lot of money, comparatively to how much investors have put into it. Like, it's billions of dollars have gone into this stuff, right? So I'm looking at that, and when I think about the past, when AR was being, that's something that you should probably invest in. You should probably invest money into AR because, artificial reality, etc., is going to be a big deal, and it was a big deal a little bit. I think it will. I think AR will become something different in the future. I think some of the stuff that they're doing is very amazing. They just really harm, humanity as much as AI, right? So I think this is just like another endeavor for people who think it's going to be, because it's speculative investments, right? Like, you think that it might be something, in the future, so you put a little money in there, right? And just like how people thought about Bitcoin, and it's like, oh, Bitcoin's not going to be a big deal, etc. Bitcoin's like 100 and something. I think 120K or something like that for one Bitcoin right now. So people are not trying to miss the boat. You got those type of people where, like, it might, like, this whole digital age, whatever. It means something. This new currency, it means something. It's gonna be something. So maybe even AI will be something, to be in conjunction with that, right? So some of AI that I'm looking at, I want it to end. Like, I think it's hurt the job market. I think it's taking the creativity out of work that the humans are supposed to do. I think it matters to be able to make a sketch based off of millions of things that you've seen or you've gone to school to learn how to draw, right? And you've seen so many different types of art, so many references, so many things and techniques that you've built on your own. To have it be done in, like, let's say, a 10-second generated image, right? And then one of the things about AI that's very funny is always that they can't do hands right. They can't do hands, right? It's like usually 6 hands or something like that. So if you're a person who've watched, here's an example. This is just my opinion. And if you know an anime called One Piece, not One Piece, what am I talking about? One Punch Man. My bad. One Punch Man. The first 2 seasons were great. It was animated right. It's the animators did an amazing job. I would say that's my opinion. An amazing job. But now, when I look at the season 3, the conversation around season 3, it's like there's this one character that I'm assuming that she's an athlete or something like that, and I'm not a huge fan of One Punch Man, so you got to forgive me, right? I can see there's a frame that she has 6 fingers instead of just 5, right? So I don't know. I assume they're using AI to make these frames, and a lot of the work that we've seen in One Punch Man 1 and 2 has not it hasn't transcended and made it better than the third season. It's horrendous. It's like a 1.5 or something like that on, actually no, I'm sorry, it's a 1.2 on a rating, comparatively to all the other animes out there. The one on top right now people are talking about is My Hero Academia, and from Horikoshi, etc. Beautiful anime. They're doing great stuff over there, right? And the hype is real. So if you're a fan of MHA, check out the last season. Even this like the second last season of it. The animation is quite well. It's really good. I'm a little bit of a fan myself, right? So we can see things by contrast by looking at AI and looking at well done work, right? And we just, like, my opinion on it, we just need to just backpedal a bit, man. What are the real uses of AI that would benefit people? We'd like, can you answer that question, right? Just like I said before, it can organize some stuff, but there's some stuff, with visual AI. So like AI that uses a camera and takes a snapshot and tries to identify stuff that is there. But I've seen something online where someone did like auto checkup on their car, and there was a flash camera scan of his interior, or not interior, his under his car, and it said that something was there. Something was, irregular or something like that. Like he didn't have something in order. I'm not exactly savvy about auto body stuff, whatever. But apparently they're trying to charge him about like $600 or $400 something, whatever, on something that didn't exist. Didn't exist, right? And he was able to confirm that this thing doesn't exist after he got his inspection based off from AI. And now he's trying to fight this thing in court. He's trying to fight this thing in court that didn't do its job properly. And these are the stuff that is just being a hindrance to humans. It's being a hindrance to people like you and me, right? Why you gotta pay extra for something that doesn't exist, right? Or a mishap that that AI caused. And this thing about having AI learn from you, because every alpha product, whatever, takes time. It just needs to learn. It needs to have lots of references and time to develop, right? And I understand that, and that's fair in a sense of when you're a creator of this thing. But when you use the consumers, as we saw Neo, if you use the consumers and you abuse, personal information and use people as guinea pigs, because that's what it is. This is like a large-scale development of using people as guinea pigs to complete your product. I'm just not for it. I'm really just not for it. So that's where I'm going to leave the video at. If you feel the same way about AI, let me hear your comments. How do you feel about it? What would be a solution to this? My opinion stands firm. We need to backpedal on this. We need to stop the production of AI. I think if everyone just continues to, I'm gonna say, boycott itself, just straight up it is boycott. Just don't use it. If we all just decide not to use it, then the whole market would plummet, But that's my thoughts, and thanks for watching the video. And if I got time, I'll see you next time. Peace.